The Tampa Bay Lightning had their earliest playoff exit in recent memory last year. They look to bounce back and make another long playoff run. Adam Denker has all things Lightning coming up next on the Locked On NHL 2023-2024 season preview. Gil Martin here. The NHL season is less than a week away, and Locked On season preview coverage continues as we welcome on host Adam Denker of Locked On Lightning to detail everything you need to know about the Tampa Bay Lightning ahead of the 2023-2024 season. Adam, what's the biggest storyline surrounding the Lightning entering this season?
Well, the biggest story now, Gil, actually announced today, right before we recorded, that Andre Vasilevskiy will miss the first 2 months of the season after getting a hernia removed in his back. So that's obviously going to dominate the Lightning for the first 2 months. Now, they do have some good goaltending talent. Hugo Anafelt will probably be up at the NHL level to help out. But yeah, Vasilevskiy missing out on the first 2 months. That's going to be an interesting test for the Tampa Bay Lightning, trying to get back to the Stanley Cup final for the first time in quite some time.
And what was the most significant offseason move the Bolts made and why?
It had to have been Connor Sheary. We're all familiar with Connor Sheary, won 2 cups in Pittsburgh, played in Washington as well. Connor Sheary adds depth as well as leadership to the third line forwards, replacing Alex Killorn, who went off to the Anaheim Ducks. So Connor Sheary's veteran leadership, as well as maybe some of that scoring, that will be definitely something that the Lightning will hope that will translate onto the ice from paper.
And who figures to be the most important player on the Lightning this season, and what makes them so crucial to the team's success?
The most important player for the Tampa Bay Lightning has to be Victor Hedman. He's coming off a little bit of a down year after scoring 20 goals in the prior year. We're looking to see if Victor Hedman possibly could bounce back, not only offensively, but as well as defensively. Didn't exactly have a Norris Trophy contention season last year on the defensive side of things. So hopefully if the big man gets back to the level of standard that we're all expected from him, and the Lightning will be cruising through the NHL season.
And how about a potential breakout candidate on the Lightning that people should know about?
It's going to be Tanner Jeannot. I know a lot of people might be shocked by that, but Tanner Jeannot has all the talent in the world. You know, you can't really judge him off of 1 year. Had a very successful rookie campaign down in Nashville, and I expect him to bring that talent that he showcased and maybe why we gave up so much for him last year at the trade deadline to Tampa Bay. And I expect him to be a huge part of this team's success and expect him to be especially the breakout candidate in Tampa this year.
And where do you expect him to fit into the lineup?
He's probably going to be on the third line on the wing position. I think he could also play a little bit on the center position here and there, but mostly they're going to try and use him as a scoring option on that third line, as well as he's going to be able to throw his body around. So he's one of those guys that's a jack of all trades and maybe might be reminiscent of those Lightning third lines that won them cups a couple of years back.
What would a successful season look like for the Lightning, and what's at stake if it's not achieved?
Well, I think we're back to the mantra here with the Tampa Bay Lightning that Stanley Cup or bust. You know, last year we kind of gave them a little bit of a pass. They've played the most games out of any team in the NHL over the last couple of years. Now they had an entire offseason to kind of get their bearings, rest up, mend any injuries that they might have. And now we're ready to go at full steam once again. I know the Vasilevskiy injury kind of sidelines things for a little bit, but that only helps the Lightning going forward because he'll be that more well-rested as soon as he comes back. And yeah, back to the Stanley Cup finals and hopefully holding up Lord Stanley is definitely the goal this year.
And if that's not accomplished, what's the fallout?
Little pieces here and there, maybe moved around. The talk of the talk this offseason was Steven Stamkos coming into camp. Are they going to re-sign him? I think maybe if they don't get a deal done during the regular season and they fail in the playoffs, we might see one of the best players in franchise history no longer in a Lightning sweater.
Oh, that would certainly be a big development. Adam, thank you so much. For more on the Tampa Bay Lightning, Be sure to follow Locked On Lightning on your favorite podcast app and on YouTube so you never miss an episode. And check out the season previews for all 32 teams across the Locked On NHL channel, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.